Hey guys, so sorry this video is super late. I am procrastinating, which is normal, but anyway, this week we're talking about editing, and I know I've actually mentioned editing a lot in the past couple of months because I'm working on editing one of my largest NaNoWriMo novels, and it's certainly quite a task. I've actually not touched it for quite a while, probably a month or two, but it's ideally because it's a big task to take on to edit anything, especially something like GOF, which is over 100,000 words. I mean, it all really is just mixed up in my brain. And one thing that I figured out was easiest for me to do when it came to editing was to actually print it out because I felt that finding all of the mistakes just by reading it on my computer was a lot harder. So if I could print it out and say work on it while I'm at lunch at work or whenever I have spare time, it actually made it easier for me to find a lot of mistakes. And then I could red pen it all in or purple or blue or whatever magical color you choose that you love to edit in. I love red, but if I have someone else perhaps put in suggestions and edit also, I have them use a different color. So some of my friends will use purple or blue, just depending on their mood or whatever pen they might find in their pocket. Not saying that everyone carries pens in their pockets, but I know I have a tendency to at work, so just makes life easy. But I do read it my stuff a few times, and then that way I can get back into the mindset of what I was in when I was writing it. Because oftentimes there is a great amount of time that goes between when I write something and when I edit it. Except for on my short story blog, at which point I edit it briefly and then blam, it's all on Blogger. But the other thing I do is I send it to a trusted friend via email. I would share stuff on Google Docs, but oftentimes some of the things I write is, well, it tends to be a lot larger than what Google Docs tells me it can handle, and then it objects and says, I'm sorry, this file is too large, even though my file tells me it's not. So that's what happens. In terms of revisions, because oftentimes in my mind I put editing and revisions in the same category because sometimes you end up doing them simultaneously and you don't realize it, is that I jot down the gist of every scene in every single chapter. So in a spiral notebook of mine, I literally have chapter 1 and then it has each scene listed in it, and from there it's just like a brief sentence or some quick notes that basically says what is going on in this scene, and that way later I can read back through some of those and decide what's important, what's not, what I can cut, because then you can really cut down a lot of the filler. Because ideally, GOF 104,000 words, a lot of that's actually filler. I can guarantee you. I wasn't trying for 100. Okay, lie. I was trying for 100,000 words, but it was supposed to be a romantic comedy. It turned into something serious. Anyway, I actually generally cut and paste the stuff that I cut into another Word document because it's always nice to have that around, just because you could go back and read it and perhaps find something that you wouldn't have expected. So that's my thoughts on editing revision. I'm sounding a little funny because my allergies have hit me like 3 months early, so I'm a little bit miserable, and I've suffered the weekend with a stupid migraine that I haven't gotten rid of until about now, which is 10:30 at night. Now, could have gotten so much more done this weekend, but I didn't. So, anyway, I hope you all have a much better week than I've had this past weekend. That made no sense, but anyway, have a great week. See you all next Monday. Don't forget to be awesome.